Welcome back to Cooking with Truett, and today this meal is all about me. So this is going to be a monster, massive ribeye that was bought actually from my in-laws. They got it for me for my birthday, and I'm finally being able to cook it. And I'm going to smoke it over charcoal and wood chunks. So first things first, I took it out of the freezer and thawed it out all day. And come here and look how massive this thing is. It's 2.5 inches thick, 2.5 inches, super marbled ribeye. Nice cap, nice spinalis, the eye of the ribeye right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this massive ribeye and I'm gonna salt it. Not overly heavy, but I'm going to put a good amount of salt on it. And I'm gonna dry brine it in the fridge for at least 12 hours so the salt penetrates the steak, so you get the seasoning deep into the steak. And as you can tell, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, so I'm gonna pull this bad boy out about 2, 3 in the afternoon. And so it's gonna salt at least 12 hours, more like probably 14 hours. So all I'm doing is just salting it, and I'm gonna put it back in the fridge overnight, uncovered. Let that salt penetrate the meat. You get some good flavor, and it's gonna dry out the surface. So when I go to smoke it and I cook it and put it on the griddle to finish it off, it's gonna get a stupidly awesome crust because the crust is gonna be dried out. So, monster ribeye, my birthday present for me. I always season all the edges. Seasoned it with salt fairly well, and I'm literally sticking it in the fridge overnight for about 13, 14 hours. And then we'll be back in a little bit. All right, everybody, welcome back. So it is exactly 14 hours later. So I put this bad boy, I dry brined it overnight at 1 o'clock in the morning. And now it's from 1 a.m. to 3 p.m., 14 hours. And that salt that I put on it totally changed the color of this beef, this ribeye. A dark mahogany red. That dry brine did exactly what I wanted to do, because you can see the salt did not penetrate the fat. But 14 hours uncovered in the fridge, this 2.5 inch thick ribeye, dry brined overnight. Now I'm about to get this thing seasoned with, I've already salted it, so I don't need to salt it anymore. I'm gonna add some pepper and garlic to it, and then we're gonna put this bad boy on the grill. We'll see you in a minute. Yeah, baby! All right, I'm about to season this puppy. One pro tip, you got your sink. Season your meat in the sink so you don't get it all over the countertops, all over the stove, making a mess. Season your meat over the sink. Easy cleanup. Pepper, granulated garlic, and as always, we're gonna do the sides and the edges. I'm gonna put this bad boy on the grill. 2.5 inches of thick cut ribeye, baby. Salt, pepper, garlic with an overnight 14 hour salt brine. Just basically putting a bunch of salt on it, leave it in the fridge uncovered, and then take it out and finish it with pepper and granulated garlic. All right, we are outside at the kettle grill. So I got about a 3/4 of a chimney of charcoal, a couple of fire starters. I'm gonna get these bad boys lit. And this is gonna be the fuel and flavor for this monster ribeye. Might need a new lighter, I don't know. Alrighty, so got the fire starters going, chimney of charcoal right here, putting that directly over the flame, and give that about 10-15 minutes for the charcoal to catch, and it'll slowly burn from the bottom to the top. And you know it's done when you got embers of fire spitting through the top of the charcoal right here. So you can already see the charcoal is already starting to smoke and catch on fire. Give it about 10-15 minutes, and I'm gonna throw a chunk of wood on there, get some smoke, and grill this ribeye, baby. Yeah, boy. Cooking with Truett. And today, this is literally cooking with Truett. This is a cook for me. Happy birthday, happy late birthday to me. Ribeye, baby. Can't get no better than that. It is the best cut of meat on the planet, FYI. You got a disagreement? Sorry. If you disagree, comment in the comment section of what you think the best cut is, but you're wrong, because the ribeye is the best cut of meat on the planet. It's the best cut on the cow. It's the best piece of meat, period. It's better than brisket, better than burgers, definitely better than a filet mignon, or as I've called in other videos, filet mignon. It's better than T-bone. It's better than sirloin. It's better than all of it. It's definitely better than a filet mignon, AKA the tenderloin. Let the smoke go. Sweet. All right, at the last minute, while the charcoal is going, I decided I'm gonna put some of this Steak King Chop House Blend steak seasoning on my ribeye. This is something we got, I think we got it at Walmart or wherever when we were on an RV trip, but I'm gonna throw just for some texture, for some extra flavor, for some coarse seasonings. I'm gonna toss that on there. So go down with some of the steakhouse rub, maybe similar to a Montreal or something like that, just to give it a little extra flavor. And I'm gonna do that on all the sides, and about to throw this bad boy on the grill. All right, the charcoal is ready. You can see the little ambers of fire peeking through the top of the charcoal. You can see the top of it getting lit. And this steak's about to get lit. How about that? And over here on the sitting on the black stone, I got my behemoth of a ribeye, 2.5 inches, well seasoned. I got me a piece of apple wood to throw on there for smoke. About to get this bad boy over the fire. Get it cooking, get it smoking. Yeah, baby. All right, backyard barbecue. We're smoking ribeye today, as I've said many times. I got the charcoal and the wood going. I got the smoke rolling. I'm about to take this behemoth ribeye, 2.5 inches thick. Massive, baby. I'm gonna put the fat cap. I'm gonna put the fat cap side towards the fire. Let that boy smoke for at least probably a good 30-40 minutes. Check on the internal temp, and then get a good sear on that puppy. Got charcoal, apple wood for smoke, and here we go. All right, we're 15 minutes into this smoke. Already getting some nice color on it. And 15 minutes in, we're gonna take it, flip it. Even cooking. Yeah, boy. About another 10-15 minutes, I'll check the internal temp and see how close we are to being done. Yeah, boy. There is literally almost nothing better than that smell right there. Nothing better than charcoal and wood smoke smell. All right, so I guess it's 86 degrees outside, 84 degrees, 86 degrees. About to check the temp on this steak. We're 30 minutes into the cook. Woo, that handle's hot. 30 minutes in. And we are in the 80-degree range. Ooh, if it's 100 and something, I need to get that off. Yeah, I need to get it off and sear it. We'll sear that bad boy right now. I'm gonna do it right over the coals. Here we go. Grab my tongs. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this bad boy, throw it right over the flames. We're gonna get a sear. After 30 minutes, we're in the 115, 120 range, which is rare. Get a good sear on that puppy, and we're about to eat. I wish you could smell that. Ooh, that smell. I like that ribeye smell. Got a little flambe action on that sear. Yeah, boy. Nothing but flavor. Look at that. Get some sear on it. Let it go another minute. Get some sear on the outside and then check the temp. All right, so I done got a good sear on it now. I'm just waiting to finish it, get it to temperature. So I'm reminded of something as I'm cooking it. Got the ribeye over here on the indirect heat, and it's about 125 degrees internal temp right now. But I'm reminded about something in the Old Testament, in the Bible, way back in the front of the book, Leviticus, way back in the Old Testament, the Bible talked about the priest would take the meat and the fat of the animal, and they would put it on the altar, and they would burn it, and they would put the meat portions and the fat portions on the altar and burn it, and the aroma would be an amazing, it would be a sweet smelling aroma to the Lord. So maybe that's why the Lord wants us to eat meat and don't want us to eat all this sugary man-made crap. So, you know, I'm a big carnivore at heart, so maybe that's why the Lord wants us to eat meat, wants us to eat real food, because it's better for our health. And in the Old Testament, they used to do this as a sacrifice and a offering to the Lord. They would take the meat and the fat and put it over the fire and cook it, and it would be an aroma, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. And that's coming from the book of Leviticus, mainly chapter 3 and all those surrounding chapters. Go out and grill something, it'll smell good. And I might be twisting the scripture a little bit, but hey, it works. Let's eat God's way. Let's eat good food, baby. Yeah.
You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move. You got it all inside of you.
All right, welcome back to Cooking with Truett. I'm your host. This is your boy Truett. All right, so I'm cooking my birthday present, so thanks to the in-laws on this one. So I have a 2.5-inch ribeye, and dummy me, I forgot to weigh it, but it weighs a ton. Anyway, I salt brined it overnight. So I basically salted it heavily, put it in the fridge overnight, uncovered for about 14 hours. Then I took it out, seasoned it with pepper and granulated garlic, and then I smoked it over charcoal and a piece of apple wood. So I smoked it for 50 minutes, and then I seared it on the coals. So now we're gonna cut into this bad boy, and I got it about 130 degrees internal temp, so about 130. We'll see how good we did on the doneness. It slices like butter. And also I got my, hey Judah, get a picture of it. So I got my 10-inch Victorinox breaking knife. So I needed a man-sized knife for a man-sized ribeye. So here we go, moment of truth. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Boy, perfect, medium rare, 130 degrees internal temp. That's my finishing temperature, medium rare. That is, man, yeah, it don't get no better than that. So if you'll, got the stupid fly on my food, but anyway. So So I'm gonna cut some slices as you're recording. Slices like butter. Slices like butter. This is my dinner tonight. This is my birthday present. And now we're gonna go in for the taste test. So I got a piece from the ribeye cap. It's the best piece of meat on the planet right there. Perfectly smoky, very smoky. Perfectly juicy, cooked at low and slow on indirect heat. Medium rare ribeye. Literally gets no better than that. So, in-laws, thanks for the birthday present. Nothing better than a ribeye. And like I said earlier, ribeye, Guga says ribeye is the king of meat. Picanha is the queen. Doesn't matter. Ribeye is the king of all meats. There's not a better piece of meat on the planet than a ribeye steak. So if you want to argue with me, argue in the comment section. Until the next time, this is Cooking with Truett. Peace.